friends. I am Lisa Concepcion, and today I am talking to you about how to detox and transform from toxic relationships. This topic is so juicy right now. It's incredible. I'm a certified professional life coach, founder of lovequestcoaching.com, where I help success-minded people who struggle with dating, relationships, divorce, codependency. I basically help people handle their shit when it comes to relationships. Now, one of the things that is so popular right now is this topic of toxic relationships. It definitely blew up given the political climate, given the COVID. So when you take these things and you put them into your relationships, because you can't ignore it. You can't ignore this topic. It's permeated our lives. Like people who a couple of years ago may have identified as like, I'm not that political. I don't even really know. I watch the news a little bit and I live my life. Fast forward to 2020, 2021, honey, you cannot live like that anymore. It is as if you can create a little sanctuary of solitude, but you're still going to go out and about and live your life. You're still going to have it in your face. COVID-19, the mask, the vaccine, what are you doing? Politics, this one, that one. It's all up in your face constantly. Now, what does this have to do with toxic relationships? Well, what we're seeing is a lot of people who were once like this are now like this and like this because of the way the world is right now. So it's impacting our relationships romantically. It's impacting our professional relationships. We're like tiptoeing around people. And I don't want to say this because it might offend them. I don't know where they stand on that kind of issue. So I don't know. And that's toxic. That is a toxic dynamic. Whenever you cannot live your truth, speak your truth, and you are self-censoring, and you are walking around people, eggshells, I don't want to offend anyone, you're silencing yourself. You're not living authentically, and you are not in your truth. It's a very toxic situation. It actually stimulates the part of our body that puts us into fight or flight. And when we're in that fight or flight feeling and the chemicals and everything that's rushing through our bodies, it puts us in a state of dis-ease. So you could end up making yourself more likely to get sick just because you are in a toxic relationship. And any relationship where you are made to feel that you cannot be authentic and truthful within yourself, that is a toxic relationship. So people think, oh yeah, only toxic relationships, that's like, I'm being beaten. If I'm not being beaten, then it's okay. No, there's emotional toxicity that is happening in relationships now. We see it playing out on social media, right? Very toxic. What's going on social media? All of this fighting. Are you going to get vaccinated? It's not going to get vaccinated. Vaccinations are for idiot sheep people. No, vaccines are good. There's all this science about it. Let me send you it. And you fight back and forth. This is toxic. It's constant toxic, relating to people in a toxic way. So how do you want to detox this from all this mess, my friends? You need to detox from it, right? So number one thing to do when detoxing from toxic relationships is making the decision to do it. It's making the decision to evaluate your relationships and be like, you know what? This is not cutting it for me. I don't feel good in this. I'm tired of the back and forth. I'm tired of feeling that I have to walk on eggshells. And it can be a bit isolating, right? Because you're making this decision to pull back. So let's say, hypothetically, there's somebody in your workspace. Maybe you're working only on Zoom and you meet with these people twice per day, 3 times per day. It's a work situation. And you know that the people on the phone, when you get into the Zoom thing and you do your meeting, they might not agree with you with what's going on in the world. So you're walking along eggshells, but you're all focused on the task at hand. You're being professional. You're blowing into the Zoom call. You're talking about what you need to do with your colleagues, right? You're hashing out the deliverables, the benchmarks, everything you want to do for the week. And it's fine and it's functioning well, because then you have your assignment, you go off onto your little computer, you Zoom away, bye everybody on Zoom, and you go into your world and you're okay. So this is a situation where you are able to navigate that successfully. But sometimes when you get on these calls and these situations, there's banter. Hey, how you doing? How was your weekend? This and that. And somebody in that casual conversation, because you're trying to connect and bond with one another, they might lead on to a certain point of view. They might complain about something that leads you to believe that they're on one side versus another politically, right? Because COVID's been completely politicized. We all know this, right? So how are you able to exist with these people on a professional level while simultaneously feeling the back of your hair on your neck stand up because you're ready to jump through the Zoom call and shake this person because they don't see things the way you see it? So number one, decide that you are in a toxic relationship on some level and decide that you want to handle it. That's step one. Step two, given this example, is how are you going to handle it? How are you going to feel good within yourself, within this relationship, and make those decisions, right? How am I going to feel good in navigating this every day? I have to deal with this person every day, whether it's work people, relationship people, husband, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, dealing with family even. Because let me tell you, there are family members in my own family who are on their side of this whole, world that we're living in right now. Vaccinations. No, don't do the vaccination. Why? We have to do the vaccination. It's healthy. It's good. It's the science says it's good. No, it's not. It's mark of the beast. Don't do it. It's terrible. They're going to put nanotechnology in us and hook us up to AI. It's crazy. Where are you seeing this? You're crazy. Conspiracy theorist. No, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Yes, you are. You're a crazy person. Why are you? No, this is what happens. Toxic. And you're trying to hang with your family. Right? You're trying to just be together. And these are the discussions that come up because it is top of mind. So you have to decide how you are going to take care of you while engaging in these kinds of conversations. You might, which brings me to number 3, disengage altogether. This involves boundary work. Now, I'm using the example of the toxicity of the current, political landscape that we're in. But the toxicity can come from other things as well. If you're in a relationship with, let's say, a toxic sociopathic narcissist, they are constantly manipulating you for their gain. So you could decide, you know what? I'm disengaging from this. I am going to do what is called no contact. I am removing myself from this person. I am denying them any and all access to me. And this is something that I help people to do in my coaching practices, right? So in my programs that I offer, a lot has to do with self-preservation, self-advocacy, self-love, curing yourself from codependency, and getting over these toxic narcissistic people who just want you in their life to get energy from you. They want to suck you dry from all of your giving, all of your energy, all of your compassion, empathy. They know exactly what buttons to press on you, and they press them all the time. And you are in a state of reaction, always waiting to react to this person. Oh my God, if I go here, this one's going to say this. If I go here, this one's going to say that. I have to try to navigate and acquiesce to everybody's mood. Meanwhile, you're the one who's depleted. You're the one who's like looking around. Who has my back? No one. Now, fourth thing, gotta decide to have your own back. Nobody is going to love you more than you should love yourself, nor could they, right? Ever. No one should or could love you more than you love yourself. No one could or should presume that they know you better than you know yourself. Oh my God, when I'm coaching, people say, Lisa, what do you think? I'm like, I mean, I can give you my opinion, but it's just an opinion. You know in your soul what decision you want to make about this particular person, this particular career, whatever your thing is, deep in your soul, you have your answer. My job as a coach is to ask you the questions to help you arrive at your own answer, because that's the way it sticks. So when you make a decision and you recognize this is a toxic relationship, I need to figure this out, I will come at you and say, well, what are we going to do? Are we working on how can you feel peaceful while in this relationship? How can you get your boundaries on point because you want to stay in it? Or are you contemplating leaving this relationship? Again, whether it's family relationship, romantic relationship, career relationship. I was working recently with a client, and I helped her come to the conclusion that she needed to leave her career. She needed to stay in her field, which was in the medical space, but she needed to get out of a toxic relationship with her job. So after I was coaching with this girl, honestly, like a year and a half, it was incredible. She had so many toxic family dynamics were toxic, career dynamics were toxic. She was just this sweet, giving, kind, amazing girl who was in these toxic dynamics in key areas of her life. And because of this, she was unable to attract love in her life. It was repelling love. And I remember one day we were on a coaching call, and I said to her, you know, really what it is all about is cultivating a life that is so sweet and so yummy and so happy and joyous that you want to invite someone in it. And in fact, not doing so would be a sin. It would be like, I live this great life and I have all these amazing blessings and I'm alone, and that's a sin, right? And people typically who are living that way, people typically who are in a harmonious relationship with themselves and they're self-loving and they're advocating for themselves, they have a voice, they're solid in their own voice, they know what they want, they know how to ask for what they want, they know what limits to put with other people, they know how they want to be treated, and they have this way about them that commands respect. Those people are not getting into toxic relationships. In fact, they are not a vibrational match to toxicity. They're just not. People who are toxic, people who are not on the same wavelength, don't even match up with people who are self-loving, self-forgiving, advocates for themselves. So if you're finding that you are dodging one toxic relationship from the other, and you're walking on eggshells, afraid to speak your truth, let's connect. I offer to begin everybody a 90-minute, I'm doing now. They're usually 60, but I'm upping it for 90 because this topic, it's juicy enough to go 90 minutes. People get into it, it's pretty intense. But what we do is we get together on a one-on-one call like this. You see me, I see you. And we handle it. We handle these toxic little buggers that are in your life. And more importantly, we handle you, because we can't control the outside people, right? They're going to think what they think. They're fickle. They're going to be, 1 minute they love you, next minute they want to be out the door. But what we can handle and what I help people do is decide how they show up for themselves, for other people, with other people, in their regular lives, work lives, relationship lives. It is so important that you have clarity around what you need to feel good, how you exist and operate in relationships. What way are you coming at your relationships? Are you coming at relationships as needy because you don't know how to satisfy your own needs? So everybody that you're around, you're like sucking the life out of the room, right? And you know this. You know this based on how people are reacting to you, right? So pay close attention. Maybe that's a thing. Maybe you have some trauma or some kind of thing that is preventing you or blocking you from having healthy, happy, really nice connected relationships. If you're finding that you're at battle with people, it's probably because on some level you are at battle with yourself. It's time to learn how to love up on yourself, time to show up for yourself, claim responsibility for your own happiness, and create the path and plan to achieve it. And that's what I help people to do. So if this sounds like something that you're interested in, if you're finding me on a Facebook Live, you absolutely can PM me. I ask that you share this content with the people in your circle because I'm sure they will find it useful and helpful as well. We're all going through the same thing. It's like, what are you talking about? This energy is crazy right now. And it's just really important that we all reach out to one another and that we really show that we aren't alone, right? Everybody's having some toxic thing flying at them. It's just a matter of how do we choose to react and respond, right? You want to respond. You want to be mindful. You want to be connected to yourself because otherwise, honey, you're like a feather in the breeze blowing around, everybody pushing you around. You don't want to be that. You want to be solid and grounded and boundaried, yet an open, friendly energy, ready to receive all the yumminess that people, good people, not toxic, crazy people, but the good people that you want to line up with. So if you've had it with the toxic BS in your life and you've had it with attracting, whether it's romantically, career, people, these people are crazy. What is it? Ask yourself, what is it about you, right? So here's the question. What is it about me that's attracting this? Everywhere I go is crazy people. So I'm the common denominator. What am I doing? What am I focusing on? What am I afraid of? So through my coaching, we explore all of that and we get you the exact tools and the resources and the steps, the actual steps that you can take to get rid and detox from these toxic relationships so that you can open yourself up to happy, harmonious, sane people, opportunities, all kinds of good stuff. So again, if you're finding me on Facebook, feel free to PM me. I know a lot of times this stuff is very personal and not everybody wants to comment in below in real time. That's totally cool. I'm open to receiving your PMs. And you can also go over to lovequestcoaching.com, my website, and there you will find a free love life assessment. So in there, you can tell me all about your toxic relationships, what patterns you're seeing happening over and over. And I read it through word by word. People tell me their drama. It's amazing. And then I read through it and I reply and respond with some ideas, some insights, based on what you give me, right? So the more you elaborate and the more detail you provide, the more I can give you back. So that's over at lovequestcoaching.com. And if you're interested in the 90-minute one-on-one and we get in there together on a Zoom call, feel free to reach out to me via lovequestcoaching.com. Or if you're finding me on Facebook, you can find me right here and PM me. Or you can also find me on Instagram, Lisa the Love Coach, at Lisa the Love Coach. Much love to you, and here's to your happy, healthy self and happy, healthy relationships. Thanks so much. Bye.